Hey, you go, Frankenfoot here, documenting some war attacks and also my first war with my Inferno towers up, so it's kind of a special occasion. I've got two GoBoWitches, one that worked and one that got close but didn't quite get there. So this is the one that didn't quite get there. It was the first attack, and I'll break down what I was thinking with these bases a little bit for you. So, the number one enemy of the GoBoWitch is the bomb tower. The number two is probably the wizard tower. So you want to find bases and you want to send your witches on a route that will have them avoid getting hit by the bomb towers and the wizard towers. So you can get the witches pretty far down the line here if you send them on the sides without them having to engage a wizard tower and without them having to engage a bomb tower if you let them go down this side. So quick and easy enough. I'm going to send four witches here in the corners, which is common. People often do that. I've got multi tower infernos, so I want to keep them out of the core. And I've also got my X-bows. Well, I guess they're all on ground, but you see that they're pretty far internal, right? So they're not going to be harassing the skeletons very much, because that's another thing that can wipe out your skeletons pretty quick. So simple enough, four witches here. I'm going to drop a golem here. And then what I like to do is drop 4 or 5 bowlers on this half, 4 or 5 bowlers on this half. So they'll start working on these buildings here and leave the interior buildings intact. Or the buildings in the center intact, rather. And then once they've sort of cleared up stuff and established the funnel, king and queen will come down, clan castle bowlers, and whatever rest of the bowlers I have. I have a couple wizards for either funneling, but nothing to funnel. Nothing they can funnel well in this case, or to send them in to help with the clan castle. It's a fresh hit, so I didn't know what was in there. But we're going to, if you look at this base, if you want to have your bowlers and heroes and golems get as far through the base as you can, you'd really like them to get just right up to this outer ring here. And then they can take a lot of these things out, like with either the bowlers can get them on the skips or the queen can just flat out reach them, right? So if they're in this compartment, the queen can sort of reach all these things right here. So what I was thinking is I'm going to give them one jump spell to get them pushing through this base. And I can't remember if I placed it. I think I placed it right there. This compartment isn't super valuable to get access to, but it does. This is kind of a short section of wall. So it's easier not to mess up the jump. Just drop it right here, and then things will jump over here. They'll move into the Inferno. I'll have one rage to greet them, and a jump spell to get them through here. And hopefully that'll help them work through the queen and work through that Inferno and the clan castle quickly. Then I'm going to drop a free spell on this one. My free spells are still Town Hall 9 level free spells. I know, that's very sad, but I'm working on it. You can't do everything at once. And then to keep things moving, I think I'd place a jump spell somewhere right around here for the second jump spell. And that just lets everything push all the way through and get as far back as they can. And I think I didn't quite get it here. I got close. We'll see where it kind of all didn't quite work out. But yeah, that's it. These are relatively simple attacks compared to the the very detailed Town Hall 9 GoBoWitch I had been doing. Anyway. So you see witches come down in the corners, string of bowlers over here, wall of bowlers over here. Things in the middle are going to be left intact. Here come the heroes because the funnel's starting to get established. First jump spell down. You see the golems working their way in. A bunch of minions of all things come out of the clan castle. So we got some poison spells. We'll take care of those pretty handily. Rage spell comes in. You see the bowlers have taken out that first Inferno. Second jump spell down. And I just don't have my timing nailed down yet. Don't know exactly when to drop that freeze. I don't know if I dropped it too late here. I don't know if I've dropped it too early other times. But for whatever reason, most of the horsepower in terms of attack, most of the firepower went to this side of the base. And so that Inferno and these things were left up. And that was just sort of the end of this raid. Didn't quite make it because of that. You see, I got a lot of witches left on the outside, but I started far away from these wizard towers, hoping that the kill squad moving through the center of the base would reach them, but they didn't. So these wizard towers are going to knock out those skeletons pretty darn quickly whenever they get around to it, and that's going to spell the end of the witches. Oh, they actually made it through that one. Oh, the queen actually did step up and take out the Inferno eventually, but this is just too much. The wizard tower and that expo is too much for the witches to be able to handle. They're just not going to be able to tank. The skeletons can't tank that bodaciously for them. So anyway, it was a nice try. High percentage 2-star, which is usually well enough. This is kind of weak Town Hall 10, so could have done better. But yeah, I have to think about that. Maybe I'll watch this a few times, figure out what I might have done differently. But you just can't win them all. It's Town Hall 10, you can't get them all. All right. So now this one did work though. So I'll show you a slight difference, or an important difference in the base and how I calibrated for that. So in this case, we have single targeting infernos rather than multi-targeting infernos. And if you've got that, I highly recommend you send the witches into the base rather than outside of the base. Almost every time I've done that, I've wound up with 3 stars. So very simple, very easy attack. We're going to drop one witch here, and then the string of the rest of the witches back here in a nice little single file line. Once the skeletons have moved forward and started tanking, I'm going to drop one golem here, and then the same thing, string of bowlers, and then eventually heroes and the clan castle bowlers in the middle. For jump spells, going to just go ahead and drop one jump spell here. You might could bring wall breakers, but you can jump this wall and this wall, so even if you break into this compartment, you'd have to do a double break to keep moving. But the beautiful thing is the skeletons are excellent at distracting single target infernos once they get around to it. So we'll do a jump spell here that'll give them access into here. We'll have a rage spell to greet them, and poison. We're going to hold on to it, actually. This is the second attack. I know there's a hound in that clan castle, which I just don't like dealing with hounds. That's not what I want to see in a clan castle. I like poison spells being able to wipe them out. I'm going to yawn for a second. Okay, great day. Second jump spell I think is going to come somewhere around here. That'll give the kill squad access to the back half of the base, and they can wipe out sort of everything around this area. And there'll just be some stragglers left. And I think at the end of the attack, I just had so many witches left, it just wasn't even close. Most other things did peter out, though. Anyway, so you see witches coming down. That little straight line. Bowlers coming down. Oh, golems coming down first. Bowlers coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sort of trying to have these things in the middle left up last. Jump spell coming down. There's that darn hound. Basically just going to keep the queen occupied. But Rage Spell will help them get through that. I've got poison spells, saving those for the pups. The first Inferno did wipe out the king. That's unfortunate, but now a bunch of barbarians and skeletons are distracting it, so it's going to fall. I went ahead and dropped the freeze on the second Inferno. Again, I'm still working on my timing. I just haven't quite figured out when that should be. But you see the jump spells moved everything into this base with the Inferno, so that thing's being taken out. We have a fair amount of skeletons and witches that decide to go to the exterior of the base as well, so they're going around and cleaning up the outside of the trash. You do have things on the inside of the base too, so just a lot of witches left over, and they got to pretty low health because of giant bombs and other things. But yeah, they managed to work through it. You got the queen over here. She's gone through. She's cleaned up all this stuff. She's about to try to break into this compartment here, and she's going to take out that cannon, but then she sort of totally spaced and decided that she was going to take out this gold storage and all this stuff and just let that archer tower shoot her in the head till she expired or got knocked out or whatever. But all that's left is 1 point defense, and there's tons of skeletons left. I've got some wizards just to help push things along and to make sure things get cleaned up. But yeah, just too darn many skeletons. Poor little archer tower just isn't going to be able to keep up. Anyway, so there you go. So just for fun, let's go ahead and record my first Town Hall 10 war attack against my base with Inferno towers. So it was a 2-star. There 2, which was a Town Hall 10, but a high-level Town Hall 10 was the one that tried to attack me. Let's see how this works out. Looks like he's bringing some Valkyries. What on earth is he doing? He's got 15 archers, 6 Valkyries, 12 bowlers. He drops a quad quake in the middle. He's got 4 wall breakers, so maybe he's going to try to wall break in. Okay, here come the golems. A cluster of bowlers. That's not how I would have done that. He's got a P.E.K.K.A. too. What on earth? Oh, those wall breakers. They destroyed this entire half of the wall, but they didn't get them into the core where the darn quadquake hit things. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's sad. That P.E.K.K.A. is going to bust through the wall, though. The Valkyries have skirted around the edge of the base and are pretty much just going to wipe themselves out at this point. Oh, that's no bueno. That's no. Oh, here come the Infernos, sending their little tentacles of death out on the heroes and golems and P.E.K.K.A.s, which it's going to do virtually nothing against. But that's okay. Yeah. Because that Tesla farm is going to wipe out. It's going to do plenty of point defense damage against these guys, and they're just going to sit there beating up that wall. Oh, the Queen is coming in behind them, though. Let's see. Let's just see how this all works out. So the P.E.K.K.A.s have broken into this compartment here. There's still 2 more Teslas that are up, and finally the X-Bow wipes out the Queen. Well, there you go. Something's still alive somewhere. Oh, the lone archer. Ba-doo, ba-doo. Let's speed this up. All right, there you go. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the attack. I hope you learned something. I'm still learning, always learning, never stop learning. Life is about learning and eating junk food and then complaining that you're getting fat. But anyway, that's all we got today. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.